Hello kababayan and YouTubers. Alright, so I finally gathered up all my information. I got the information from IATF, and also I confirmed it with the airlines here in Los Angeles, just to make sure they both know what's going on. Because a lot of times the left hand doesn't know what the right hand's doing. So whatever I've learned about the news in the Philippines, I confirmed it with the airlines here in Los Angeles. So I was on hold for about 30 minutes, and then finally I got through. Anyway, so I'm giving you guys the updates. I'm gonna break it down so it's more simpler to understand. So OFW, green card holders, and dual citizens, you are required negative 48-hour RT-PCR tests. And if you're vaccinated, no quarantine. If you're not vaccinated, you have a 5-day quarantine. Your maximum stay as long as you want. No return ticket, no travel insurance. And then, for your spouse and your children, regardless of age, they are required the 48-hour RT-PCR test. They have to be fully vaccinated, and except for kids that's under 12 years old. And they can stay more than 30 days. So they're not in that 30-day limitations anymore. So they could stay more than 30 days. They're not required to have a return ticket. But they need travel insurance. All right, next group. Former Filipinos. Okay, you are required to have a negative 48-hour RT-PCR test, and you are required to be fully vaccinated. Your maximum stay, well, you have about a year. You have up to a year, and if you want to extend, you ask for an extension. You're no longer required to have a return ticket, but you are required travel insurance. Okay, your spouses and children, regardless of age, they are required negative 48-hour PCR test, required fully vaccination, except for kids under the age of 12. And they can stay longer than 30 days now. And they're not required to have a return ticket. And they need travel insurance. Okay, so next are the foreigners. This one's a little bit tough, but I broke it down so everybody can understand. There's two types of foreigners. Foreigners that's under the EO 408, and then the other foreigners that are not in the EO 408. What I mean by EO 408 is a country like United States. If you're a white guy coming from the United States, you don't need a visa to come to the Philippines, because United States is part of the EO 408. All right, so that's an example. A country that Philippines that allows them to come over, the people from that country to come over without any visa. And a good example is the United States. So a United States is under the EO 408. Okay, I'm gonna talk about the foreigners under the EO 408. Foreigners traveling without their spouse. A spouse that is a OFW, a green card holder, a dual citizen, or former Filipino. So if you're a foreigner, you're traveling without them, you as a foreigner plus your kids can come to the Philippines, but here's are the requirements. Negative 48-hour RT-PCR test, fully vaccinated, except for kids that's under 12 years old. Your maximum stay is 30 days. Your first day of arrival, that counts as one. And then the 30th day is when you depart. You need a return ticket, travel insurance, passport valid for at least 6 months at the day of arrival. Now, if you want to stay longer than 30 days, and the purpose of your staying is not for tourism or leisure, this is what you have to do. You can get the entry exemption documents. Entry exemption documents issued under existing IATF rules and regulations. Amen. That's, I don't know what that is, but that's all you have to do. If you want to stay more than 30 days, you got to see that, okay? I don't have any more information about that. That's what they said. Okay, last, foreigners that are not from the United States. You're foreigners that are non-EO 408, foreigners with their kids, okay? Foreigners that are visa required, foreigners that are restricted foreign nationals. So if you're a foreigner and you're coming from a non-EO 408 and you're visa required and you're restricted foreign nationals, okay, this is for you. All right? You as a foreigner plus your kids, whether you are traveling with your Filipina national wife, okay, you're not, whether you're traveling with your spouse, your Filipina wife, who could be an OFW, green card holder, or dual citizen. So you could travel with your Filipina wife, for example. You travel with her or not. It doesn't matter if you're traveling with her or not. You can come to the Philippines without entry exemption documents, as long as you have a 9A visa with the appropriate visa notation. Now, I don't know what that is. I think you guys would know more if you are that foreigner. So that I'm just repeating what I've learned. Now, you as a foreigner plus your kids require negative 48-hour RT-PCR test. You guys have to be fully vaccinated, except for kids that's under 12 years old. Your maximum stay depends on your visa. You don't need a return ticket because this is an agreement between the visa that you get. But you will need a travel insurance. Okay? Last, one of our subscribers was asking me about the layovers, but this one I just want to reiterate to make sure everybody gets it. There's like, for example, if I'm traveling from LAX, California, and I got the cheap tickets, so my layover is in Japan, and then I wait for 2 hours, and then I fly to Philippines. So that's a layover. Now this is regarding layovers. So she was asking me, what happens to my negative 48-hour RT-PCR test? Will it become invalid? So here's the rule. If you're flying and let's say you landed it in Japan for your layover, as long as you stay in the airport, you're good. Because once you get out of the airport, now you're screwed. Now you have to redo that RT-PCR test. Okay, so for the layovers, those people that like to buy tickets with layovers, your RT-PCR test is good as long as you stay in the airport. So don't get out of the airport. You'll be good. All right, guys. So It took me long to do this because I had to confirm with the airlines. I want to make sure they're actually doing the same thing. They are, what's that word I'm seeking? I'm so burned out, I can't even think anymore. I just want to make sure whatever the news I got from the Philippines, the Philippine airline or the airlines are on board, because the airlines are the ones, they're the gatekeepers, because they can either let you on the plane or not. So I made a phone call. Well, they put me on hold, okay, about 30 to 40 minutes, something like that. But I kept on, and I asked them all the questions. I confirmed it with them. Are you sure about this? Are you sure about that? And they said, yeah. So looks like the left hand and the right hand are talking now. So that's why it took me a long time, because I don't want to make a video and then I have to change everything again. So yeah, this is the hardest videos I ever made in my whole life, because they keep changing their rules. And I won't be surprised, comes February 15th, they're gonna have new rulings. Oh, man. Anyways, thanks so much for listening to me, and take notes. When you guys listen to my videos, take notes, guys. Get a piece of paper and just write down everything. Okay, and I just want to thank everybody, and especially all the new subscribers. Thank you very much. And if you guys have any question, comment, leave me a message. And if you like the video, please like it and share it, please. And don't forget to subscribe. All right, kababayan and YouTubers, I love you guys.